तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। नामचिन्तामणि कृष्णश्चैतन्य रसविग्रह पूर्णशुद्धो नित्यमुक्तो अभिन्नत्वां नाम नामिनो। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवात्सादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मथः स्मृतिज्ञानमापोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविद् एव चाहम्। Glories of Shrimad Bhagavatam by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Sarvashastra Vipiyusha Sarvavedaika Satphala Sarvasiddhanta Ratnadya Sarvalokaika Dekprada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabhu Kali Dvando Ditya Shri Krishna Parivartita परमानन्दपाठाय प्रेमवर्षि ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तु मे। मदैकबन्धु मत्सङ्गिन् मद्गुरु मन्महादना मन्निष्ठारक मद्भाग्या मदानन्द नमोऽस्तु ते। असाधु साधु तादायिन्नति नीचोचताकरा आनमुञ्चा कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्ण हृत्कण्ठयो स्फुर। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate gire yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramanandam Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hari Om. Hare Krishna. So again we meet. Nowadays we get only once in a month, but I always see that I don't miss this association. Very blissful. So welcome you all to this morning session of Shrimad Bhagavatam. We completed third canto. Now it is said that in Bhakti Vaibhav when you do this fourth canto, it is the module 2. So all are in the module 2 of Bhakti Vaibhav, canto 4, and we are in the 6th chapter, at the creation of the fourth order. So since the verses which I am going to cover today, they are the last 3 to 4 verses, 50, 51, 52, 53. So what we will do, we will have just a revision of what was it, the 6th chapter all about. What is the takeaway point from this 6th chapter, what we have to understand from this 6th chapter. So I will share my screen. Yeah. So the canto 4th, creation of fourth order, chapter 6, Brahma satisfy Lord Shiva. So how did we come to this stage? That what had happened? If somebody point by point, maybe one line also would be enough. What was the reason why all the demigods come to Lord Brahma? What were their respect? What had happened? What fiasco had happened? Just in short, to get the flow of the chapter.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I try?
Yes, Mataji.
Please correct me. I may miss out certain points.
Sure.
Hare Krishna. Daksha was conducting a yajna. So he had invited all demigods and all the senior devotees for the yajna. And during the yajna, everybody was seated and Shiva was also seated and Shiva was meditating. His eyes were closed. So when Daksha entered, everybody stood up in respect and to pay obeisances to Daksha. But Shiva did not get up because he was meditating and he was totally into a trance. So so Daksha got very offended and he got very angry and he cursed Shiva. So, and he disrespected Shiva, and Shiva is the husband of Sati, who is the daughter of Daksha. So, in a way, he is also the son-in-law of Daksha. So, Daksha expected that as a son-in-law and as a that he is a Brahmana, so he should Shivji should should have gotten up and in respect, which did not happen. So he got very very angry on Shiva and. He cursed Shiva. Now, when he cursed Shiva, Shiva's associates, the Nandishwar, got very angry, and he in turn cursed Daksha and his associates. So it was counter cursing going on, and then after that they left. Now, Daksha also did to further insult Shivji. He had another yagna, and he did not invite Shivji at all. So while Shivji in their dham, Sati could see everybody passing by and going to somewhere. So she understood that her father has arranged some yagya and they are not invited. But she just felt that it is okay if the daughter is not invited, I should still go. So she was ready to go, but Shivji told her that it's not right on her part to go and it will not be good. She won't have a good experience, but she still went ahead. And when she went there, she realized that, she didn't do the right thing, but she was so upset with her father. And rather than, so she as a daughter did her duty of not disrespecting the father, but still she did not want the body that she got from her father. So she emulated herself into Agni and she gave up her life. Now Shivji came to know about this, so he got very angry. So till the time he was insulted, Shivji never got angry. He took it upon himself and just moved on. He didn't say a word to Daksha. But now that he Sati had done it, he was very very upset. So Shivji, in a fist of anger, he plucks one hair and puts on the floor, and Veerbhadra appears from there, and they are all Veerbhadra with the other associates went to Daksha's place to take the revenge. So they all went there and destroyed all the yagya and whatever arrangements were made. So there the demigods and all got very upset that what is going on, and Shivji is very very upset with all of us. So they approached Brahmaji that please take us to Shivji, accompany us because we are in no state to approach Shivji. So please accompany us to Shivji to Kailash Dham for to ask for forgiveness. So
Okay,
it's
thanks,
where
Mataji. That was very
Hare
wonderfully
Krishna.
summarized.
Sorry, Mataji, if I have
No, no, no. It was very wonderfully done.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
So, yeah. So we see that how. So why did this Daksha, he got angry when Lord Shiva did not stand. So from and that was the one reason which resulted in all these episodes, right? That is because he was on a bodily platform. Though he is a Prajapati, but then he got so puffed up with his opulences he had, and because he was on a bodily platform, because of the pride, envy, he considered that why he did not respect me, that I am a Prajapati, I have conducted it. That pride came into him, and because of this, he cursed, and then the counter cursing took place. And then later on, as you know, the girls always feel that there is no need for us to get an invitation to go to our parents' house, right? So based on that, Mother Sati also, she goes to her house, but when she reaches, she feels very sad that she is not being welcomed by the father, because that is how this pride takes in, the opulences. So that it is always said that whenever we do whatever opulences, whatever talents we have, it is all given by the Lord based on our activities, and then that has to be utilized in the service of the Lord. Otherwise we will fall into yagnartat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So everything, whatever prescribed duty or whatever talents we have, whatever we do. See, being a Prajapati, Daksha has fallen down, right? So what can we say about our state? We are in this age of Kali Yuga, where there is always one, after every minute, there is, some misfortune happening in our lives. So this is what we have to understand. I'm not very good at any PPT, but just a small attempt to revise. So here, when my mother Sita, Sati, when she reaches, right, she is not being welcomed. So she gets very angry. Though her mother and her sister goes and welcome her, gives her a seat, but she refuses. And in that rage of anger, she tells Daksha, whom are you neglecting? That Shiva, who is Atishayanaha. That means who has no one superior to him in this material world, huh? Who has no rivals. He is priyas tata apriyan. That means no one is he is equal, samadarshina kind. Nobody is very dear to him or not. He is inimical to anyone. He is very equipoised. He is Priyatmana. He is the most beloved of all in this material world. He is Tasmin Samas Samastatmani, means he is the soul of all beings, and he is Mukta Vai Rakhe. He is without any enmity. He does not have envy towards anyone. He is not proud of his being independent, of nothing. So she asked him, these are the qualities which Mother Sati is talking about of Lord Shiva. This person, you are envious of him, you have ignored him. Then she says, Nama Agham Ashu Shahanti. His name, Lord Shiva, his name purifies one and all of all their sinful activities. He is thus, Shiva means all auspiciousness. That Shiva you have insulted, you have not invited. He is Alangya Shahasnam. That means his order is never neglected. He is Pavitra Kirtam. His fame is very pure. All the demigods, what to say, even Lord Brahma considered him most auspicious. And that person, you have neglected, you have not invited. This is what she is asking her father. That much grave, she felt. So here we say that Lord Shiva, Param Vaishnavana Yata Shambho. When a Vaishnav is insulted, what is the position? What we have to do? Block our ears according to our position, our capacity. We should, if we have the knowledge, if we can give the counter, what you call, if you can give the clarification you can do that, otherwise just leave away, go, leave that place. So here in the purport it is said, block one's ear, leave the place if one is not able to punish him. Cut off the, if you're a kshatriya, you have the capability, then you have to cut his tongue and kill him. Then one has to give up one's life as an atonement of hearing. So Mother Sati thinks that she felt very, she's saying, this body which I got, this is from this, my father Daksha, who is on this platform, material platform, who is so envious. She did not wanted that body. So how did she kill herself? With mystic yoga. She inspired, she ignited that fiery elements in the body, and through mystic yoga she she burns herself, she gives up her body. So this is the sati's position, but that doesn't mean that we have to imitate that. This happened in a different yuga. We are in Kali Yuga. So if you are in a position where you can give the clarification, definitely, otherwise leave that place. But Vaishnava Aparadh is very grave. So, and when she gives up her body, and that message was brought to Lord Shiva by Narad Muni. When he hears that, he becomes very sad and anger. And in that anger, what he does, he plucks one hair and he throws it on the ground. And that creates one fearful Veerabhadra. And the description of Veerabhadra, anyone? Veerabhadra, how was the description given that? It seems he
Hare
was,
Krishna, you want to read us, Mataji?
anybody in your
Want
own
us to
words,
read?
this,
Uh,
anybody in their own words can say.
Hari bol. Anybody want to speak? Please unmute and speak up the characteristics. I mean the description of Veerbhadra. Hari Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam.
Pranam Swati.
Veerbhadra was Mataji like very tall, in fact a giant, and he was dark colored. Only this
Yes.
much Mataji I can
Yeah.
remember. So.
It is said that he was so tall as if he is reaching up the sky, and it was very bright. In afternoon itself, when the sunlight is at its peak, we feel so glad. But it is said that he was as bright as three sun. His hair were like a blazing fire, fearful, and he had worn a garland of skull. This is how and he had 1,000 arms, with each arms having one weapon. So he gives orders to Veerbhadra that you go and destroy that arena where the sacrifice is taking place, Yajna is taking place. Kill Daksha, kill all his soldiers. And during that time, Daksha, he sees all the dangerous omens, from all the sides, from the earth, from the sky. So he knew something very bad is going to happen. So in various chapters, we have come across this bad and good omen. Is there any few examples that you can think about, bad omen and good omen, through the chapters we have gone through?
Mataji, Hare Krishna. When Krishna was leaving the earth, there was
Yeah.
similar signs.
Yeah, Yudhishthir Maharaj, right? When
Yes.
Arjuna does not return, he sees, he feels, he comes to know that, yeah, something bad has happened. Yes, that's a good example.
And
Anyone
Duryodhana
else?
born, Mataji.
Huh?
And Duryodhana was born. That time also there were.
Yes. That time also there were bad omen. There was of cyclone, storm, heavy wind. Yes. Anybody else? Good omen.
Hiranyakashipu.
Yes.
Before
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
When
Prabhu.
Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha has taken the birth.
Ah, when the demons took birth, these were the bad omens. And the good omen,
And Krishna appeared, na Mataji.
Haribol, yes, when Krishna appeared. Then anything you can think about. Yeah?
Mataji Maharaj, Parikshit's empire or his kingdom was being described in the first canto.
So,
So
little more,
Mataji,
can you
again,
elaborate?
yeah, Mataji, again, I don't
Ah,
remember nicely, but it has been given nice.
how flourishing
Yeah,
it was, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Similarly was King Prithu Maharaj. King Prithu Maharaj also the same. Before him was King Vena. He was very bad. He used to destroy everything, kill everyone. And so for that, the Brahmanas, through the mantras, they had to kill him. He was so a menace to the kingdom. So then Prithu Maharaj came. And when Prithu, and because of Vena's atrocity, Mother Earth also retracted all the goodness. There was scarcity of everything. And when Prithu Maharaj was born, Prithu Maharaj saw that there was scarcity. And then he realized it, that Mother Earth was holding on to it. And then he goes to her and, with a sword, and he asks them, what is this? And she's telling, no, I had held it because of the atrocities by Vena. And then she flourishes the kingdom in ample when Prithu Maharaj takes over. So what is this omens, what realization do we get? Why do we get this bad omen and good omen? What does it indicate?
Hare Krishna Mataji. If the
signal
presence
for
of
something
Lord is
good
there,
or
it
the
is
bad that is
auspicious. If the
Ah,
Lord's presence is not there, automatically everything is, we get this bad omens. That signifies
so
as Mataji.
this is a communication tool, it is communicating us, right? Something
Yes.
good is, something bad is happening.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is how we have to answer. There is somebody superior to us who is controlling. So we are not the Lord. Our position is of that of a seva. We are the servant. That is what we have to understand. So this is a communication tool that God has given to us. With that, we should understand, and accordingly, we should control our activities. Everything. So that is the best way. That's what Krishna consciousness say, do all the activities for Krishna. Everything gets purified. So your activities will also be that it should please Krishna. It doesn't mean that do all the activities for Krishna. It doesn't mean that you can do anything. No, the activity should be such that you should please Krishna. So when you do an activity, you should understand that, is it going to please Krishna? Am I in line with it? So that is the takeaway point from here. And then afterwards, then Veerbhadra. What are the activities? What did Veerbhadra do? Right? These are the four prominent things which are, though he set fire to the full arena, he had set fire. Then he pulled the mustache of Bhrigu Muni, Bhagas, he plucked the eyes, he knocked the teeth of Pusha, and he beheaded Daksha. Right? Afterwards, and then we have that Brahma satisfied. When this happens, when Veerbhadra was creating such a menace, right? It was everybody, the demigods became very scared. And then what did they do? They ran to Lord Brahma asking for a solution. What is to be done? How do we protect ourselves? So they all rushes. So here Lord Brahma says that we cannot be happy when we offend a great personality, and that to no one but Lord Shiva. Who is Lord Shiva? What is the description given in Brahma Samhita about Lord Shiva? How is he described?
क्षीरमदातु
Yes,
विशेषयोगात्
yes, he is non-different. It is just like milk and curd, right? Milk, once they both are milk products, but once it is converted into curd, it has its own properties. Similarly, Lord Vishnu, he does not have any relation with this material world, but for the creation, when he comes in touch with this material world, right? The external energy, he exhibits the features. That is Lord Shiva. Huh? So that is what we have to understand. So here Lord Brahma tells him that it was a Vaishnava aparadh. Vaishnava aparadh is very grave. Nobody can protect you from Vaishnava aparadh. It is only the person against whom you have committed the offense. You have to ask for forgiveness, fall at his feet, and then that is the only atonement. So Brahma tells, you cannot be happy by offending him. So only way to pacify him is falling at the feet and asking for pardon. That is the only solution for a Vaishnava aparadh. Can you think about any more examples of Vaishnava aparadh?
Amrish
Amrish Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Saurabha Muni. Saurabha
Which-
Muni. Saurabha Muni. He
Can you
offended Krishna Leela Mataji. Garuda.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj. Then,
Shringi Muni's son put the snake around Parikshit Maharaj.
yeah,
Can we say that?
but then he did not ask for forgiveness, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. But anyway, that was a Leela, because of that we got Shrimad Bhagavatam. So yeah, then there were, there was this one, yes, Lord Shiva.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Previous class, Mataji told one story about Devanand Pandit and Srivatsa Thakur Mataji. Offending,
Okay.
that is offending. If we offend a
One
devotee is
minute,
offending.
Mataji. Yeah, so we understand. Similarly, also, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, there was this journalist who would always write about false news about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura and his mutt, everything. And then it is told that later on, this journalist, continuously he used to do that. And then afterwards, in his personal life, there were a lot of misfortunes and tragedies that were happening. And then he realized the mistake what he had done, and then he comes and asks for forgiveness. So, so when you deal with a Vaishnava, we have to be very careful that we never offend. Always that humility should be there. And if at all we do it, also go and ask for forgiveness. There is no harm. It is for our own benefit. So thus, understanding Vaishnava Aparadh, Lord Brahma takes all of them to Kailasha, that is the abode of Lord Shiva. And en route, when they are going to Kailasha, they come across the description of Alkapuri is also there. That is the abode of
Shiva. Kailash.
Alkapuri.
Alkapuri.
Yeah,
Kubera.
Yeah, Kuvera, yes. So there is a good description about Kailasha Hill, how it is surrounded by Alakananda, then the various, how calm and serene it was. Similarly, description of Alkapuri was also mentioned. Further, it says that after the description, we come to darshan of Lord Shiva. So where was Lord Shiva sitting? He was sitting under a banyan tree. Again, that banyan tree description, how many yojanas? 1 yojanas, it is said to be about 8 miles, and this is 100 yojanas height. Beyond, we cannot conceive, though it is in the material world itself, but then we cannot just conceive about it. It is 100 yojanas high, and the branches extending 75 yojanas, so big, and underneath it was permanently cool, a very serene atmosphere. And there he was surrounded by 4 Kumaras and Kuvera, right? So there is an explanation given that he is, what do we have to understand? That he was a complete, and his in his company was Kuvera was also there, and 4 Kumaras. To contrast, isn't it?
Yes,
What
Mataji.
yeah, 4 the Kumaras were transcendently situated spiritually, and Kuvera is the richest. Nobody is as rich as him, right? And in between them is Lord Shiva. But then see how is his composure, right? He is ekdam saintly in meditating, always meditating upon the Supreme Lord. That is why, so he was equipoised. That is what is Lord Shiva. And that Lord Shiva has created this Veerabhadra. So you can understand the position and what this Leela tells us, how we have to deal. And then it speaks about Veer Asana. What is Veer Asana?
Is it Padmasana, Mataji? Like how we sit with the right leg on the left thighs and left leg on the right thighs?
Left leg
Padmasana.
on the right
Right
thigh.
thighs.
Yeah. And the left hand on the left side. And the
Left
right
thigh.
and his right hand was in Tarka Mudra. It is said that this mudra is wherein you meditate, you introspect, they meditate, it helps in your concentration. So in that deep meditation was Lord Shiva. In that mudra, he was meditating, always meditating upon the Supreme Lord. So he was in that ecstasy, he was in that more, in that meditation with of the Supreme Lord, that he was not on his bodily concept, though he has come here to take care of the mode of ignorance. That is the job given to him. But as a Vaishnava, as a Param Vaishnava, he is always thinking about the Supreme Lord. He was in that mode when Daksha entered the arena. But Daksha, he was taken over by the opulence. So here it said that Lord Shiva is called as Yogeshwara. That is, nobody can surpass the amount of the practices for hours together which he does. But Lord Shiva is Yogeshwara. No one can surpass the perfection of the yogic perfection. That is Lord Krishna. This is just a difference which I thought I'll just share. And then later on, when always we see that when they meet a great personality, first glorifying. So Lord Brahma glorifies Lord Shiva, and he's telling that sometimes, always great devotees, they are praised as that of the Supreme Lord, because they reflect the qualities and the characteristics of the Supreme Lord. And here Lord Vishnu, this I already told. Then he says that Brahma indicates that since Daksha, who is the initiate of the Brahma, he is dead. Therefore, the dharma is destroyed. So there will be misfortunes in the world. So you have to do something about it. So he tells Lord Shiva that that you are a surrendered soul, a Vishuddhatma, who sees Paramatma. He does not see anyone on a bodily platform, correct? A Vishuddhatma. He is that much compassionate. He sees Paramatma in everybody's heart. He does not differentiate anyone. Then how can you be angry? So here understanding is that Lord's anger on a demon and his blessings on the devotee, they are all on the same platform. It is spiritual to liberate that person. Then it is said that there is no need for us to kill a person. This is a lesson for us. When somebody does bad, do not waste your time conceiving plans how to take revenge. They did their karma. They the Lord is there. It is said that there are 13 witnesses to all the activities we do. Which are those 13 witnesses?
The moon, the sun,
Hmm.
moon, sun.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Earth, ether, air, water, all the five
It,
ingredients.
it is the directions,
Our
the
super
land,
soul.
the earth, the morning,
Yes, ma'am.
evening, right?
Yes,
This,
ma'am.
yeah, the
Sun, moon.
Atma, the Paramatma, the sun, the moon. Yeah. So like that, there are witnesses to whatever activities we do. More than that, we should be conscious that there is Paramatma within us, who is the observer, right? So he said, so there is no need to waste your time thinking about how to take revenges. They will be by providence, it will come their way. So this and the sadhus, they are not supposed to show their prowess on the offenders, because karma will always act upon them. So saying, he's convincing and he's telling that please be merciful on those who are bewildered. They are under the Maya, the external energy. They have come under the clutches of Maya. That is why they are exhibiting it. So you please forgive them. So saying, now he says that now this is what we are going to see in the 50, 51st, 52nd and the 54th verse. Revive Daksha, get him back to life. Get back Bhrugu's mustache, Bhaga's eyes, Pusha's teeth. Revive the demigods who are injured and take your sacrifice, a part of the sacrifice, and complete the sacrifice by your grace. So I stop here and I share. So we will go on. First, we will read all the verses and then we will conclude understanding what is the text. 50. Kurvadvarasyodaranam hatasya bhoho vyasamaptasya mano prajapate nayatra bhagam tava bhagino daduho kuya jino ye namako niniyate. Anybody to recite?
Krishna. Yes,
Hare
Mataji, you
Krishna.
want us to recite the shloka, the translation and the purport, Mataji, or only translation and shloka?
Translation and shloka, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Anita Mataji, you do the shloka, and Vasudha Mataji, the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kurvarasyodaranam hatasya boho त्वया समापतस्य मनो प्रजापतेः न यत्र भागं तव भागिनो ददुः कुर्याजिनो येन मखो निनीयते.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Translation, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear Lord Shiva, you are a shareholder of a portion of the sacrifice, and you are the giver of the result. The bad priests did not deliver your share, and therefore you destroyed everything. And the sacrifice remains unfinished. Now you can do the needful and take your rightful share. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. 51.
Hare Krishna. Sudha Mataji, the verse, and Divya Mataji, the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. जीवतार्यजमानोऽयं प्रपद्येताक्षिणी बग भृगोस्मश्रुनि स्पृहन्तु उष्णो दन्ताश्च पूर्ववत्. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna Mataji, translation. My dear Lord, by your mercy, the performer of the sacrifice, King Daksha, may get back his life, Bhaga, may get back his eyes, Bhrugu, his mustache, and Pusha, his teeth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Meenakshi Shankar Mataji, you can do the verse, and I will do, Rohini Mataji can do the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shall I Mataji? Devanam Bhagnagatrana Titvacham Chayudhashmavihi भवतानुगृहीतानाम् आशुमन्योस्तव नातुरम्. Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. O Lord Shiva, may the demigods and the priests whose limbs have been broken by your soldiers recover from the injuries by your grace.
Yeah. So this is what we understand. These are the requests which Lord Brahma does to Lord Shiva, right? First, what did he say? In the 50th verse, he said that you please take your share, right? Because otherwise the sacrifice will not be complete, and let the sacrifice be complete. If the sacrifices are not complete, then there will be misfortunes, right? You know, the society will be affected. They will not get their needs. Their well-being will be affected. So he was told that you please accept it and let the sacrifice be completed. And then he says that whatever, you know, those who lost their eyes, the bhaga, the Bhrugu's mustache, give them back. Pusha's teeth, please give them back. And then he says that you please help to all the demigods and the priests who were injured. Please help them in their recovery. Now the philosophical verse is the 53rd verse, the last verse of this chapter.
Hare Krishna. Archana Mataji, the verse, and Padma Mataji translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Mataji. Esha te rudrabhagostu yaduchisto adharasya vai yajnaste rudrabhagena kalpadam adhya yajnaha. Hare Krishna.
Kalpatam, let it
Hare
finish
Krishna.
it. Yes.
Hare Krishna, translated by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. O destroyer of the sacrifice, please take your portion of the sacrifice and let the sacrifice be completed by your grace. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the purport, it says that a sacrifice is a ceremony performed to please the Godhead, right? Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam, right? We have to do, he is the Bhoktaram. It is that whatever sacrifices we do, it is to please the Lord. So the aim of our activity should be to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just as in an office, it is our duty of a worker to see that the proprietor of the master is satisfied. So everyone's duty is to see that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied by one's activity. So how do we satisfy our Lord's activity, the Lord? What are the different ways that we can satisfy the Supreme Lord?
By doing yagya
Hare Krishna Mataji.
and by living life as per the regulative principles prescribed in the Shastras.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna
Chanting with
Mataji.
concentration.
Yes.
By the 9 stages of devotion,
Stages of devotional service.
by
Yes.
Ahaituki Prateta Mataji.
Ahaituki
Unmotivated and yes, Mataji.
Yeah,
Unmotivated.
it should be
Uninterrupted.
continuous, uninterrupted. Yes.
Yes,
And
Mataji.
then do your prescribed duty. Initially, do your prescribed duty, right? And the prescribed duty should be as per the injunction, not according to our mental speculation. So then later on, it is activities to satisfy the Supreme Lord is prescribed in the Vedic literature, and execution of such activity is called yagya, right? So, and in Bhagavad Gita 3.9, what does it say? Yagnartat karmano anyatra. You do all the activities as an offering to the Lord. Otherwise, what is the result? If you do not do, lokoyam karma bandhanaha. You will get karma bandhana. That means you are taking birth again in this material world, again in this vicious cycle. So you have to do all your activities as an service to the Lord. So don't do things for your sense gratification. This is what we have to understand. If you do it for the Lord, then it is called yagya. So here the yagya was performed by Daksha. Was it to please the Lord? No. He wanted to improve his power. For that he was doing. So as a result of this, there was a disaster. So, but Daksha, out of his envy of Lord Shiva, neither invited Shiva to participate in the yagya nor gave him a share after the offering. But after the destruction of the yagya arena by the followers of the Lord, by the followers of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma pacified him and assured him that he would get a share of prasadam, and had requested him to rectify whatever destruction was caused. So this is in Bhagavad Gita 13.11. Can somebody read this verse?
देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयपरमवाप्स्यता.
Yeah, say that Devan, you please the demigods by doing the yagyas, right? But then instead what devas will do, they will also bhavantu ivaha, they will also please. By this mutual cooperation, parasparam bhavayantaha, this mutual cooperation, what will happen? There is shreya, the prosperity. So when we do, so does this encourage demigod worship?
No, Mataji, it is just probably saying that because Daksha was performing yajna, but he did not consider Shiva important. That is why it's being explained. Am I right, Mataji?
Yeah, and also when we
And
do that, when we do worship, yes, somebody was adding.
Hare Krishna Mataji, just I was adding that we need to respect the demigods for whatever they are doing. We cannot dishonor them.
In
So
what
just
way? In what way?
by doing the
With what
yajna and offering,
understanding? Nay, with what
with
understanding?
the understanding that they are not the whole and soul of, they will also go to Krishna in turn, and but we need to recognize their contribution, and we need to respect them also.
Anybody else?
And we can pray to them without disrespecting. We can pray to them to give us Krishna Bhakti. So in that ways we
Yeah,
can
pay respect considering what their position, right? What is their position?
They are the
They Vaishnavas.
Mataji.
Servants of the
They are
Lord.
also Vaishnavas.
So indirectly we are pleasing the Lord only, no, Mataji.
In what way,
Mataji,
Mataji?
they are
By
servitors of
pleasing the
Krishna.
demigods, and then through the demigods, it will ultimately reach Krishna only.
Mataji,
So
we
that
should know
means
their
they,
position. We should
They
know
have
their
been given
position as
specific
the servitors of the
responsibilities
Lord.
in this material world, no, Mataji. So we are paying respects for their designation because they have attained that also through some amount of devotion. So we don't want to disregard them. And by pleasing, by praying to them and taking their blessings, we ask them for Krishna Prema.
And Mataji, they have been given these positions by Krishna only. So we are recognizing that also Krishna has appointed them to in these positions to execute and run the material world. Hare
okay.
Krishna.
Padma Mataji, anything to add?
Mataji, we need to
Mataji,
understand
they
that
are
the
also part and
position.
parcel of Krishna, like us.
Okay.
And then they provide us air,
Kripamai
water,
Mataji.
all that. On behalf of Krishna, they provide us air, water, fire, all that.
Mataji, my understanding is they are also Vaishnavas, so we have to respect them. So in that ways, if we don't respect, then it will become Vaishnava Aparadha also. So in that ways, I
They
understand.
are the limbs of the Lord. That is also right. With that understanding that they are also considered, the eyes are the sun and the moon, right? Isn't it? So they are also the part and part, they are the limbs of the Lord. So when we are doing with that understanding, we have to do the yagya. So ultimately it is the Bhoktaram is the Supreme Lord is itself. So, and if it is said, it is in other verses, it is said that if you take up the share of the yagya without offering it to them, then we are considered as the
Thief.
thieves. Yes, we are the thieves. So this is the understanding. So it is said that because the demigods accept the prasada from the yagya, yagyas must be prasam. Those who engage in sense gratificatory and materialistic activities must perform yagya, otherwise they will be implicated. Thus, Daksha, being the father of mankind, was performing yagya and Lord Shiva accepted his share. But since Shiva was not invited, there was a trouble, and by the meditation of Lord Brahma, however, everything was settled. I'll just share my PPT for the last few. So the philosophical point from this, we have to understand that whatever yagya we do, the ultimate aim is to satisfy the Supreme Lord. the ritualistic, practical, everything should be aligned on the principles to be meaningful and transcendental. When it becomes meaningful, when we offer the result to the Lord and not use it that for our sense gratification, and then it becomes transcendental. Duties should be in relation to the Lord. Like the example given by Prabhupada, that the employee, right? Only when we satisfy the employer, then we get increment, bonus, isn't it? So we work hard, we endeavor hard for it. Similarly, we should also endeavor to that supreme boss. Then only we will get that bonus, that increment, right? Of going back home to Godhead. Then do your prescribed duties. Sacrifices are specifically designed to satisfy the Lord. This will help us to free from material bondage. Every action thus become a yagya when you do it with the intention to please the Supreme Lord. Practically, how can we do this? By aligning our activities with the purpose to please the Lord. Selfish action will lead to bondage. So our action should be selfless action for the Lord, and that's liberate the soul. So here the emphasis is that true fulfillment lies in the dedicating oneself and the action to the Supreme Lord, the mindset of our service. It's that we should always, our mindset should be that we should serve whatever we have, whatever we do. It should be to please the Lord, because what is our constitutional position?
We are the servants of the Lord.
Servant.
Yeah, we are the servant of the,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, we are the das. So we should be das, dasanudas. How can we be das, dasanudas? It is always said, right?
By serving the devotees.
Serving the devotees, Mataji. Yes, and Krishna's devotees.
Okay. It is
Trinakadi
das, sanu das. Who is that das that we should serve?
Means
Devotee.
we serve
Which devotee?
we serve the supreme person. The spiritual master.
That is how we, that dasanu das is our spiritual master, who is the servant of all the dasas that are in. So thus when we take a shelter, that is when we take initiation, we follow the instruction of the spiritual master, thus we become das. That should be our mode, because our position is that of a servant and not of the Lord, because we had that envy to lord over. That is why we have come into this material world. So God made all the arrangements for us to enjoy, but he gave us the instruction also that this enjoyment should be in relationship with the Lord, because that is the only medicine of our disease, to enjoy. So with that medicine, we can go back to our original place from where we come. So here it talks about the Vaishnava Aparadh, how grave it is, and how should we do our activities. This is what this sixth chapter, the takeaway point from this sixth chapter is. So with that, we end this chapter. Hari Om Tat Sat. Grantaraj Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. If there are anything more you want to add, your realization from this chapter, you can also add. Any questions?
Hare
Please.
Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Very wonderful class, Mataji. Thank you so much. And it was very interactive also. As always, whenever you come, you give us a nice interactive section. Thank you so much, Mataji. So I just have a question. When you were saying that in Kailash with Lord Shiva, Kuvera and Sanat Kumaras were there. So Sanat Kumaras were at that point of time, they were self-realized, means they were the devotees of Shiva.
Yes,
because initially they were Brahman, right? And then,
even then they are on the Brahman also, but then they are in the knowledge. That is what that contrast is given, right? He was in association with knowledge as well as with material opulences. But even then he was equipoised. Nothing deterred, he never moved from his position. That is, that contrast is given and the understanding we have to take.
Okay, so then Kumaras not meet
He
the
was
Lord.
in which position, that is not mentioned, but the understanding we should take away is that even though that, we have to, our life should be that it should be, yes, we have to earn our livelihood, but then we should not be carried away by that, working hard only for that livelihood, and go away from the spiritual activity. We have to balance each other and dovetail it, everything, every activity, and thus we can remain equipoised and go further.
Okay, thank you.
That
Thank you.
is the understanding we should take away from.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Padma Mataji, you have a question?
No, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna, your hand is raised, so I thought Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, I have this small, actually, day before yesterday, I got into a small discussion with a devotee, and we could not reach to the result that if when this material world is coming into manifestation, so this Garbhodaka Vishnu, Shirodakshaya Vishnu, and the super soul, these are the temporary or Mataji permanent, or these come into manifestation only with the material world, even the Lord, even Lord Shiva. That
Yeah,
confusion I
it
have,
is.
Mataji.
Yes, it is. They are there, but they come in, they are manifested when the creation happens.
Okay. So Mataji, how then we say that in Vaikuntha Loka, the Vishnu, Lord Vishnu is
Yeah,
there in the Vaikuntha
yeah,
Loka.
he is abode, but he is coming to take his position. That is his job. That is their abode. We have a house, we have an office, right? We go to office, we do our activities, then we come back to our house, right? So Vaikuntha is their abode.
Okay.
And for
But
the creation, they expand. For this creation, for us to, enjoy, for this creation to happen, unless and unless there is a Paramatma, everything is a dead material, isn't it? For that to be lively, for the materials to happen, for the things to happen, for the creation to take place, they expand themselves.
okay, so is this the Mataji reason if someone is meditating on the super soul, then they will not be getting elevated, or is this the reason, Mataji?
They will go to Brahmajyoti.
Okay,
We have
okay.
to, yeah, their destination is Brahmajyoti.
And even Lord Shiva in that case, Mataji, this is
That
his
is what, don't compare with Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is independent. Lord Shiva has taken up this post for creation. Lord Shiva's philosophy is different.
Okay.
So yeah, we should understand the superior position of Lord Shiva. Lord, it is said, Lord Vishnu, when he cannot take how the creation happens, right? It is the Lakshmi ji expands into Rama Devi, and the glare, the effulgence of the Lord as Shambhu, they unite, the creation happens for that purpose. So he as Sadashiva, he is there in Vaikuntha Loka. So this Shiva is where he is coming for the creation.
Okay,
Hare Krishna. Mataji, so while chanting, I know we don't have to imagine anything, we are only have to hear. But lot number of times, Mataji, that when you temple vigra comes into your imagination while chanting, and sometimes, at least for me, I'm talking, and sometimes while chanting, Paramatma in the heart, I can see. So, what is the right thing, Mataji? Because it's a little difficult to not see any image, Mataji. How much ever I try and focus on the hearing, but that images keep coming, Mataji. The temple vigra and the Paramatma in the heart. So, what is the right thing, Mataji?
It is, see, Mataji, there is no harm, but then it says that since we are sadhakas, right? So we have to concentrate upon, maybe later on that it should not get deviated. Okay, but then there are always chances that you may get deviated from one thinking to the another thinking. So that is why they say that as a sadhakas, you have to meditate upon the words, you have to hear the chanting. I know it is a very difficult thing because
No, while hearing, no, I can feel the vibration till the heart. So I imagine, like, yagya, how they say that ears is the kund, and how that is what
it is
it
good,
comes from.
Mataji.
But
It's
Paramatma imagination is not what we should do.
it is not the imagination. You can imagine, but then that belief that there is no form, that is wrong. They do not, the others, those who are meditating upon, they do not, but they later on you're doing devotional service as well, right?
Yes,
But then the
that
other
is
yogi,
the
yeah, it
form
is,
only.
yeah. But yeah, so but this destination, what we are talking about are this mystic yogi who do not believe in the form of the Lord, and they are fully into meditating upon the Paramatma. It is not bad that you are, when you are chanting, you are thinking about, that is not what is said. It is on those who do not believe in the form of the Lord and they only stick on to the meditation. This is their destination we are talking.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Anybody has any question? No raised hands, Mataji. Can we?
Yeah, Mataji, just in connection to that, Mataji, meditating on the Govardhan hill and the activities, that is okay, or you have to meditate on his form alone by chanting?
Govardhan hill is also one of the form of the Lord, no, Mataji.
Yeah, so that is okay, if that comes to
Yeah,
mind,
but
that's okay.
yeah,
the activities,
yeah, but try as far as possible. Let us stick to what is given, prescribed to us, what has been told to us.
Yeah,
Like that,
okay.
when we, according to our, then it may go into different angles. So best is follow as it is, what is instructed.
Yeah, okay, Mataji, thank you.
Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can we end the class with prayers?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Vancha
Vancha
Kalpatarubhyaschа
kalpatarubhyascha
kripa
kripa
sindhubhya patitani pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Anand
Namo
Koti Vaishnav
Namaste Koti
Vrind, Jai
Vaishnav
Srila
Ki Jai,
Prabhupada
Srila
Ki Jai,
Prabhupada Ki
Srimad
Jai,
Bhagavatam.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare
Please come
Krishna,
more
Mataji.
often, Mataji. We miss your
If I'm
association.
getting a chance, definitely I will not miss Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
It
Thank
is
you
a
so
revision
much.
for, and I was so happy that I got the last few verses. So that full chapter I can.
Very nice, Mataji, today.
Very nice.
Thank
Very
you very
nice.
much,
So much,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mataji.
Haribol.
Haribol. I'll end
All
the
the
class,
revision.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Hare Krishna.